It is officially the summer, and with that is summer slowdown, which a lot of resellers equate with slower sales. So if you want to see what I sold in the first week of June in the midst of summer slowdown, then stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I am a part-time reseller and I resell on platforms like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Kidizen. And in today's video, I'm going to be telling you what items I sold on all of those different platforms. Now, while I am a part-time reseller, I am able to devote a lot more time and energy to my reselling business because my full-time job is as a high school choir teacher. And as you know, in the summer, there is no school. So I am able to devote so much more of myself to my reselling business. And I think even though sales are traditionally slower in the summer, I'm able to kind of make up for it with the fact that I'm able to put more time and energy into reselling. So it all kind of balances out. And I still had a pretty good week for the first week of June. So let's talk about what sold. If you enjoy what sold videos and you are not subscribed yet, then definitely consider subscribing to my channel. I do one of these videos a week, although this week I had two because I didn't do one last week. And I also do thrift hauls and I do a lot of like tips and tricks videos on how to improve your reselling business. And I don't know, I feel like we have a lot of fun over here. So if you're not subscribed already, definitely consider doing that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. It's on like the bottom right corner of your video. And the reason for that is because then you are alerted every time I put out new content. And that way you don't miss a single video. But let's get into what sold. We're going to start with June 1st, which was a Monday. And I had one two-piece bundle on Poshmark, a couple sales on eBay, and a couple sales on Mercari. So the first thing to sell on Monday the 1st was this two-piece bundle, and they were both children's items. The first item is from the consignment store that I've been talking about a lot in my most recent videos. So just to give you the gist of it, there's a local consignment store in my area, and I worked out a deal with them where I can go shopping by myself in their storage unit, and they charge me $50 per like huge garbage bag. So you know, it depends on the day that I go and how many items I pick up on that given day. But like on some days, my average sales price is 80 cents. Sometimes it's 86 cents. On the day where the majority of what I picked up were shoes, I think my average sales price was like a little under $2. So, you know, it varies from day to day, but generally speaking, especially when I'm just getting clothes, my average sales price is about 83 cents. So the first thing that sold, which was from that consignment store, was this really cute Olivia for Gymboree. Olivia is like that little pig, you know, like I think there are like books about her and stuff. But it was like a graphic t-shirt in a size 6. It was really cute because like it had a different print on the back than it did on the front, and just darling. The second thing to sell was this pair of new without tags Gap Kids denim polka dot ballet flats in a size 10. That was actually something that we bought for our daughter, and she just never ended up wearing it. So we ended up listing it, and it sold, you know, pretty quickly. So did the Olivia for Gymboree shirt, probably sold within 2 weeks of me listing it. So this bundle sold for $16 and I made $12.80, which basically is almost pure profit. And then on eBay, I sold this Athleta green paisley pack anywhere halter dress in a size 4. This only sold for $13, but I was okay with moving it for that amount because this was one of my older listings on eBay when I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I think I had calculated shipping on. This person ended up paying $8.25 to get this dress shipped to her when really it only cost me $3.51. I basically just like added the $5 extra that she paid for shipping to the item that she was buying from me. So it made me feel like I was selling it for $18, which is why I was okay with moving it. I mean, $18 is kind of low for an Athleta dress, but I've had this for over a year. So when I got the offer, I was like, just take it. Like, I just don't want to have to share it anymore. I don't want to look at it anymore. So I was really happy to get rid of that. So at the end of the day, I made $14.77 after shipping and after eBay fees and all that good stuff. And that did sell via promoted listings at 1%. The next thing to sell on eBay was this Banana Republic black non-iron slim fit button-up dress shirt in a size 15 to 15 and a half. That's usually how you know something is a men's dress shirt rather than just like a casual button down or a casual button up. If it has the neck size on it, that means it's a little bit more formal. You wear those under suits and stuff like that. This sold for $18. I had them pay for shipping and I made $15.14. Again, I've had this for, I want to say like a year and a half. This was something that the cook. This was something that belonged to the cook's son. This was something that belonged to the cook's son of the restaurant that my brother used to work at. That's what I mean when I say tell people what you do, because the word will spread. Like, my brother was just casually talking about my reselling business to the cook at his restaurant, who was like, oh, I have all these boxes of clothes from my son that he never took with him when he moved out. And so I got those things. I ended up giving her a little bit of money for everything, but my cost of goods was low. It was a lot of stuff all at once. And it was a lot of like Banana Republic, Ralph Lauren, like those kinds of brands. So a year and a half later, I made $15.14. And then over on Mercari, I had 2 sales, which is kind of crazy because I usually don't make a lot of sales on Mercari, but I feel like even Mercari has been picking up for me. So the first thing to sell was this Ralph Lauren blue label button-up shirt in a size medium. This one sold for $20. I paid for shipping, which was $3.23, and so I made $14.77. $20 is a lot less than I wanted to move this dress shirt for, but the day before it sold, this guy sat there and asked me like 15 questions about this shirt. Like, I'm not exaggerating, like literally 15 questions about this shirt. And I answered all of them. I was as polite as I could be. And then, he was done asking his questions and he said, "Thank you." And there was no offer or purchase or anything. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm never going to get that time back in my life. And then I woke up the next morning and he had sent me an offer for $20. So I just like went ahead and accepted because I knew he was probably going to be extremely satisfied with the shirt since he had asked so many questions about it. And he knew exactly what he was getting into by purchasing that shirt. That did come from my friend, and I will link that video right here. He and I worked out kind of a consignment deal. He had a bunch of stuff, like 5 or 6 garbage bags worth of stuff. And so I was able to just go through them, see what I would sell. And I offered him a price for everything. He agreed. And so here I am selling his clothes and making good money doing it. Moving on to the last item I sold on Mercari on Monday the 1st. It was this RVCA Sucker Punch 2 skater dress in a size small. I wasn't familiar with this brand RVCA, but I got it for free from my friend when she and her sister and parents were cleaning out their closets. I'll put that haul right here. They gave me a lot of clothes from junior brands like Pacific Sunwear or Hollister, Abercrombie, those kinds of brands. And so I kind of assumed RVCA was, in the same vein as those juniors brands. I think that it's sold at Pacific Sunwear. I could totally be making that up, but it has that kind of like skater, surf girl vibe to it. And apparently it is a pretty good brand. Like, it sells, pretty decently. Like, these kinds of dresses sell anywhere from like the $20 to $28 range. So I sold it for $22, and after I paid $4 for shipping, I made $15.80. And I didn't have that listed for very long at all. And then on Tuesday the 2nd, I sold this 2-piece bundle on Poshmark, and it was kind of an interesting bundle. Like, I feel like maybe one piece was for someone, and then the other piece was like for her mom or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're both for the same person. But the first thing to sell was this Nasty Gal Open to Suggestions striped shirt in a size 2. It was a super interesting shirt. It was like collared with a V-neck, but it was a wrap shirt. And I'm really happy that I was able to find a stock photo of this because it looked horrible just on the hanger by itself. So I was really happy to find that. And I did pick that up, I believe, at a Goodwill. And then the second thing to sell, I've had listed for over a year, so I was so happy to see it go. But it was this J. Jill coral embroidered beaded maxi dress in a size large petite. And that's why I say, like, I don't know that these went to the same person because the dress was a large petite and the shirt was a size 2. Anyway, they sold for $40 and I made $32 off of both of those items. And then the next 3 sales were direct sales, which means that I communicated with the buyer via Instagram or email, and we did not, make the sale via a reselling platform. And you'll see why here in a second. So the first thing was this Tommy Hilfiger vintage jacket, and it was color blocked. It was from the 90s, and it was so cool because it was like this windbreaker that you could stuff all of it into its front pocket and it would turn into a fanny pack. Like, what? I just thought it was so cool. And I had it listed really, really, really high on Poshmark. I had it listed for like $99 or something, even though I saw that on eBay comps were like anywhere between like $30 and $50. But I was like, I'm going to shoot for the stars. It's been on Poshmark and eBay for quite some time now, like close to a year, I want to say. And I got a comment on the listing on Poshmark of someone asking if I would ship to Canada. Now, if you don't know, Poshmark just launched in Canada a year ago. And it's interesting because I think Canadians will by default see American listings, but they can't buy from Americans because Poshmark doesn't make it possible yet for Americans and Canadians to ship to one another. And so she saw it and saw that I was American and therefore I wouldn't be able to ship to her via Poshmark. And she asked me if I was willing to ship to Canada. So I asked her if she had Instagram, and if so, I told her that she should DM me. Typically speaking, you're not supposed to take any transactions off of Poshmark, right? Like that's kind of rule breaking. But the only reason I did it in this instance is because it wasn't possible for her to buy the item on Poshmark. And that's the only reason I took the transaction offline. If I could have done it on Poshmark, I totally would have. There just wasn't a way to do it. So she contacted me on Instagram and we worked out a price. She was actually buying it for her boyfriend because it was going to be his birthday, which I thought was really sweet. So I don't know, it's kind of weird because it's Canadian dollars versus American dollars. She ended up paying $19.71 to ship it out. So I definitely gave her a deal as far as like not charging as much for the jacket as I typically would have because I just felt bad. That's a lot to have to pay for shipping. So I ended up making $34.50 off of this jacket, which honestly, like I had been sending out $60 offers to likers whenever someone liked the item or when it was closet clear out. And that profit of $34.50 is pretty close to what I would have gotten if I had made the sale on Poshmark with like a $60 or $50 offer anyway. So I was totally cool with that. And now Camille has a really great present for her boyfriend. So I feel like we're all winners. And then the next direct sale, the next two actually came from YouTube videos. And so, again, I've been going to this consignment store. It's been amazing. And I've done a few hauls of the stuff that I've picked up from there. I'm not able to haul everything. There's just like no possible way because then all I would be doing with my life is making haul videos and not actually like doing the things that people need to do in order to make money on Poshmark and eBay. But both of these people saw items that they liked in those haul videos and they sent me an email and we were able to work out a price via email and, they paid either via PayPal or Venmo. So the first item was this pair of Converse Jack Purcell gold shoes. And these were really interesting. I'd never heard of the name Jack Purcell attached to Converse before. And I don't know that it really ups the value very much or anything like that. When I was looking up comps, it didn't look like anything too crazy. So I believe I had Jennifer pay, I want to say $30 total, and I ended up making $21.08. So yeah, I think it was $30 shipped. So Jennifer, thank you so much, and I hope you love them. The next direct sale went to Tracy. So Tracy, thank you. And it was this pair of Merrell blue faux fur lined clogs. They looked really comfy and perfect for the winter. These also went to Canada. So it was just really crazy because in one day I had to ship two different things to Canada. So she also had to pay $19.71 for me to ship these out to her. And I just felt so bad, but she was like, no, that's totally fine. So I don't remember how much she paid all in, but I ended up making $18.23. So I think I had her paying like $20 or $25 for them, plus the shipping, which was a lot. And then on the 3rd of June, which was a Wednesday, it wasn't I didn't have that many sales, but I had some pretty decent sales. So the first thing did come from the consignment store, and it was this pair of Boggs Plimsoll quilted floral tall rain boots in a size 8. It was my first time finding Boggs. I was really excited because I know that they can sell for, a good amount. Although I feel like, people get excited about Boggs or people talk about them a lot. And when I went to look up comps on Poshmark, they weren't really that high. So I remember I priced these pretty high, especially compared to comps on Poshmark. I think I priced them at $68, and I had a lot of lowball offers. I just wanted to sell them for at least $50. So literally the day after I had a countering back and forth war with this person who wanted me to sell them to her for $20, I ended up getting an offer for $55. So I made $44 off of those, which was super exciting because that shoe haul, I paid less than $2 for everything. So less than $2 into $44. That there is what I call a flip. And then the next thing to sell was a pair of shoes that I've had forever. And it was this pair of Dansko Dory, that was the style name of the Danskos, brown leather slip-on loafers in a size 37. They sold for $28, and I think we arrived at that after countering back and forth a little bit, and that gave me $22.40. I just wanted to get rid of them because I'd had them for some time. I don't remember where I got them, but I know I've had them for over half a year. And then on Mercari, I sold a shirt that was from the consignment store, and it was this new without tags Converse red graphic t-shirt in a size large. It had like a big high top shoe on it. It sold for $15. I paid for $3.31 of shipping, so I made $10.19. All right, so we're going into Thursday. If you're liking this video at all, definitely make sure you hit that like button. But on Thursday, I only had 2 sales over on eBay. The first one being this pair of frame denim Les Garçons distressed skinny jeans in a size 28. They sold for $50. That was the offer sent to me. And so I ended up making $37.61. Those did sell via promoted listings at 6%, and those were actually in my ThredUp Rescue denim box, and I will link that video right here. So even just that one sale by itself, does that pay for my whole box? I almost feel like it does. I don't remember right now how much I paid for that denim rescue box, but if it doesn't pay for the whole box, I mean, it comes close. And then the next thing to sell was probably the winner of the week. It was this gray rayon scoop neck racer back tank top in a size small. It was an auction item. It got the one bid of $2.99. And after shipping, I made $3.34 because they actually paid a little more for shipping than they needed to. Because basically anything that's going to be under 8 ounces, I price at $4. And this only costs $2.74 to ship out. So I ended up making $3.34. I did get that for free from a friend. $3.34 of pure profit. That's awesome. I think I could get like a thing of toothpaste with that, right? Or at least a toothbrush. Like you could improve your dental hygiene with that one little sale. So I'm all for it. And then on Friday the 5th, I had a few sales on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. So the first thing to sell was this lot of 3-footed zipper one-piece outfits for a newborn baby. They were all outfits that my son wore when he was born. He was such a little peanut. I mean, he still is. He's so small. He's 3 and he still fits into his like 18 to 24 month shorts. Like he's ridiculous. So he was so little when he was born. So he wore newborn clothes for quite some time. And this sold for my full asking price of $15. And so I made $12. And really that's all profit because again, it's something that my son wore, got a lot of use out of, and now we're moving those to a new home. The next thing to sell also came from the consignment store. And it was this pair of BKE denim Stella low-rise bootcut jeans in a size 26. Those sold for my full asking price of $28, and I made $22.40. I feel like $28 is kind of like the sweet spot as far as a price goes for brands like BKE and Silver. I don't know, like anything more than that, I feel like they sit forever and ever. But if I list them at $28, I can pretty frequently get full price sales. So I don't know. Let me know if you have BKE or, Silver jeans in your closet. Let me know how you price them. Maybe I'm just pricing mine too low, but that's generally how I price them. And then the next thing to sell was this Hannah Anderson ship print tie dress. It had like spaghetti straps on it in a size 160. I don't remember what that comes out to in like US kid sizing, but it was for like, like a elementary school aged or even middle school age girl. Like it was a little bit bigger of a size. It sold for $18 and I made $14.40. I've had that for a very long time, over a year, so I'm happy to see that go. And then on eBay, I sold this Hollister maroon floral dress in a size small. This was given to me for free by my friend who was cleaning out her closet and just dropped off a ton of stuff at my house. I sent out offers to watchers on it for $14.90. I think I had it listed for $18. And so after they paid for shipping, I made $11.79. That was also promoted at 6%. The next thing to sell on eBay was this pair of Talbot's Heritage white nautical high-rise wide leg jeans in a size 2. I call them nautical because like on the hips, like where the front pockets are, there were really cute nautical looking buttons that were like this. They were really adorable. They got a ton of attention when I first listed them. And when I first listed them, I had them listed much higher. I want to say for like $28. But then I had to drop the price on them because I realized upon closer inspection that there were a ton of stains on these. I hate white clothes so much. My husband and I actually went back to the consignment store that I keep talking about. We went today, this morning, and there was this entire bin of like white pants and skirts and stuff. And every pair that I would hand him to put in the back, he'd be like, nope, so many stains. Nope, this has a lot of stains. And like, I don't know, I just feel like white pants are so hard to keep clean. So once I realized that, it had a ton of stains and stuff, I definitely disclosed all of that. And these still sold for $14.90. After they paid for shipping, I made $11.78. And then on Mercari, I sold this bundle. The first thing was this pair of Old Navy blue boat shoes. They belonged to my husband. He wore them like a few times, but I don't think there was enough traction on the bottom. And so he was just like slipping and sliding all over the place and didn't really like them. And then the next thing came from my friend who I did a consignment deal with, and it was this Nike hoodie, and it was really great. It was like a dark blue color. I think it had like the dry fit technology, but I realized as I was photographing it that the kangaroo pocket that was on the front, the top of the pocket was coming undone from the rest of the hoodie. So it was pretty severely flawed. And at first this guy wanted to just buy the shoes for like $10 with free shipping. And I was like, dude, I'll make like $2 because, I have to ship the shoes out at least in a padded flat rate envelope. And it's just, that's not worth it to me. And he's like, well, what if I add this hoodie? So I sold him both of those pieces for $20, and it did cost me $8.23 to ship those two things out. So I ended up making $9.77, which isn't bad. Like, one of those shoes, it's like my husband wore them for a while and just wanted to get rid of them. And then the other thing was, really flawed. So I thought that was fair, and I thought it was a good price for those kinds of items. On Mercari, they don't make it easy for you to make a bundle the way that you can on Poshmark and even kind of on eBay. You have to actually like create a listing that says bundle for blank. Like that's how you sell bundles. If you were wondering, I remember like at first when someone wanted to buy a couple things, I was like, how do I do this? So it took a little bit of like maneuvering, but I was able to figure it out. And now I know if people want more than one thing on Mercari, that's how you do it. And then on Saturday the 6th, I had a sale on Poshmark, 2 on eBay, and 1 on Kidizen. And it was my only Kidizen sale of the week. So the first thing to sell was this Peter Millar double mercerized? I don't know what that means. Polo shirt in a size medium. This sold for $20. That was the offer sent to me, and I made $16. I pick up Peter Millar every time I find it. I have a hard time selling it. I don't know about you. It just takes me forever to move his stuff out. So I don't know if I'm going to keep picking it up. I probably will, but I just know now to expect to sit on it for quite some time. And then on eBay, I sold this pair of new with tags, Southern Tide, pink nautical scallop shorts in a size 6. These sold for $20, and after they paid for shipping, I made $15.44, and those were promoted at 6%. I've heard a lot of resellers talk about Southern Tide. I think it's a brand similar to Vineyard Vines. It's very preppy. People wear it golfing, that kind of thing. But I have a hard time selling it. Like I remember getting really excited when I found these because this, I think, was my very first time finding Southern Tide. And after I found these, I actually found a men's polo shirt as well. But they just, both have been taking forever to sell. Like these just sold, and the polo shirt I still have listed. So I don't know, like maybe I just had it priced too high or something. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but not necessarily something that's going to move right away. I feel like Vineyard Vines definitely sells faster. And then the next thing to sell on eBay was a pair of BKE denim Aiden bootcut jeans in a size 27 short. These sold for $20, and after they paid for shipping, I made $14.57. Those were also promoted at 6%. So I sold 2 pairs of BKE jeans this week, and I remember I used to like always pass on them at the thrift store. I just never picked them up, but I got a ton for free from a friend of mine a long time ago. So I just started listing them just to see, what would happen. And what happened is they sold, and some of them sold pretty quickly. So I don't know, don't turn your nose up if you're okay with a $15 or $20 profit here and there. And then on Kidizen, I sold this pair of Skechers Super Z light up sneakers in a size 1.5. These actually sold via Facebook Marketplace because on Kidizen, when you list something, you have the option of automatically cross-listing it over to Facebook Marketplace, which is what I do with all of my items. It's so easy. It's with the click of one little button. And then once you've selected that option, everything that you list is also put on Facebook Marketplace. And so these sold over there for $14.95. It did cost me $5.75 to ship out. So I did only make $7.60, but those were from the consignment store. I probably paid less than $2 for those. Totally cool with that. And then on Sunday the 7th, I had 3 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. So the first thing to sell on Poshmark was this Nike Golf Performance Dry Fit pair of khaki shorts in a size 8. Those sold for $20, probably within one day of me listing them. They sold really fast. I guess people are just so excited to be able to go golfing again. And I made $16. Those came from the consignment store. So again, I had like 83 cents into those maybe. And then the next thing to sell I've had for over 2 years. I was so happy to see it go. It was this pair of Mad Marzia Donzelli black harem pull-on pants in a size 4. So basically they were like the coolest pants ever. They, like I said, had an elastic waist and like an extremely dropped crotch. They looked like genie pants. Like they looked like pants that Genie from Aladdin would wear. They were so cool, Italian made. I could tell they were really well made and like a good pair of pants. The problem was that I just don't think a lot of people are familiar with this brand. I got these, again, like 2 years ago from a parent of a student of mine, and they belonged to her mom. So it was like my student's grandma, basically. And it was because we were doing this fundraiser at school for the theater program and for a cappella. We were doing a garage sale, but I pulled the nicer items to sell myself on Poshmark and eBay, this being one of them. So I also knew that they were probably nicer because the majority of the stuff that, you know, they brought me from her home were really nice brands. Some of them like not very well-known brands, but nice brands. So I finally moved those for $30 and I made $24. And then the last thing to sell on Poshmark was this Stone Mountain gray vegan leather mini backpack. This sold for $30 and it did sell via my closet clear out method. So I made $24 after Poshmark fees. And this is something that I paid $1 for. I got it at a church garage sale. It was like the last time I went thrifting before quarantine. So turning $1 into $24, yeah. Pretty cool with that. Stone Mountain is not a brand that I've picked up before, but I just thought the bag was really cute. I could see someone wanting it, so I made $24 off of it. And then the very last thing to sell was over on eBay, and it was this Ann Taylor 100% linen V-neck shirt in a size extra small/small. It's like very oversized and kind of boxy fit. This sold for $15, and after they paid for shipping, I made $12.53. That one I did have a little bit of an issue with. I had it listed as black, but then when I pulled it, I was like, well, shoot, this is not black. This is like a super dark navy. So I reached out to her and I let her know that I had accidentally put the wrong color. I let her know I could cancel the order or she could replace that item with something up to $20 in my eBay store, which is more than, you know, the amount that she paid for that shirt. But the reason I did that is because I wanted to be able to go above and beyond for making a mistake. And she was so thankful that I reached out to her. And she was like, I'm sure I could find a use for it, even though it's navy. So I sent it to her and hopefully she loves it because it was a really nice shirt. It just wasn't in the color that she thought it was going to be in. So let's talk about my stats. You know, my sales in the first week of June were not as good as my sales in the last week of May. The last week of May was amazing for some reason. I don't know why. If you haven't watched that video yet, I will link it right here. But for it being the summer, I'm really happy with these sales and with my numbers. So on Poshmark, I sold 13 items and my net sales from Poshmark was $240, which means that is the amount going in my bank account because I've already deducted all the fees and stuff like that. And then on eBay, I sold 9 items and I made $136.97. On Mercari, I sold 5 items for $50.53 of profit. On Kidizen, I sold the 1 item for $7.60. And I had 3 direct sales resulting in $73.81 of profit for me. So in the first week of June, I sold 31 items and I made $508.91. again, like I feel like for a really long time, my average was like $200 to $300 a week, $200 to $300 a week. And I would feel really proud of myself. And then as I was able to put a little bit more energy into my reselling business, I was, kind of averaging like $300 to $400. And if I hit 400, I was like freaking out because I'm like, yay. And so now that I'm starting to average between like 400 to 600, I'm ecstatic. I'm so thankful to be here. And I feel like I never thought this was possible. I never thought I would get to a place where I could be making $400, $500, $600 a week. 2 weeks ago, I almost made $900 in 1 week. And I just never thought that this would be possible. But that just goes to show what hard work can do. And you see the kinds of things that I'm selling. I'm not selling Gucci this or Lululemon that. Like, it's very modest stuff. It's a lot of bread and butter with like a few, little higher price sales here and there. But if I can do it, you definitely can too. I know some people are really down on themselves because their sales are not where they want them to be. But just know when I first started too, or even like a year in, if I made $150 in a week, I was jumping up and down with joy. I actually got so annoyed because a friend of mine from St. Louis, which is where I went to high school, he Facebook messaged me and he was like, hey, I just sold something really expensive on Poshmark. How does insurance work? Like, should I buy more insurance for the package? And I'm like, oh, how much did it sell for? And I'm thinking like $200-$300. And he sent me a screenshot of what he sold. He sold a $900 ring. And I was like, excuse me? So I'm not over here selling $900 rings. I'm over here selling BKE jeans and Ann Taylor shirts and stuff. But even with that, even with bread and butter, you can do really well. You can make at least, $400 or $500 consistently every week. So if you're about that bread and butter life, make sure that you hit the like button. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Next week, we'll have another What Sold video, as well as some more thrift hauls, and I think like a tips video type of thing. So if you're interested in that, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.